there, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of All About a Fursuit, the series where we interview furries, get to know a little bit more about the furry fandom, one furry at a time. Now, I'm having to be a little quieter in this video because I'm literally filming at 3 a.m. And I think my roommates are pretty much asleep. But I wanted to give a little bit more of a Halloween vibe for this video. But speaking of Halloween, I hope y'all are enjoying the video so far and enjoying the Halloween vibes. Also, in this interview, we're interviewing none other than Kire the Demon. Oh yeah, you heard me right. Kire the Demon. So sit back, relax, enjoy a spooky video, and let's get straight to it. As always, we'll ask him five, not five, six questions. We'll ask him 6 questions in the spirit of Halloween. So without further ado, let's get into it. Yes. On to the first question now, and that is for Kire, and that is, what is your favorite part of Halloween?
My favorite parts of Halloween have to be the ability for people to dress up in costume and express themselves in that way, the ability for people to decorate their homes and overall celebrate the holiday, as well as just the overall feeling of the holiday. It helps signify like the real mature portion of my favorite season, which is fall. And I also love horror movies and just the overall spooky vibe, and Halloween really aligns with the things that I like to do most in my day-to-day life, which is spooky.
On to the second question now, and that is, who or what inspired you to become a fursuit dancer?
There are several people that have inspired me to be a fursuit dancer. Off the top of my head, Strobes, Flinch, a good friend of mine, Zero. The first introduction I had to fursuit dancing was Tear at, I believe it was Anthrocon. So there was a lot of things that inspired me to get into fursuit dancing, but predominantly those examples.
Now on to the third question now, and that is, how was your experience with your fursuit maker, Beauty of the Base?
My maker was phenomenal with everything that she did. She was super communicative through the entire process. She always wanted to know my input on intricate little details of my suit. So for example, the shape of my claws were even questioned as to how I wanted them to look. She provided me examples of how they wanted to look. The expression on my suit was also asked of me, so the expression was conceptualized by her and I approved of it, and also gave me a few other examples of what he could look like. When she got around to finally making his suit, which whenever I had commissioned my suit, it was just before the pandemic, so things were a bit delayed due to the pandemic, and obviously Base is international from where I am. So that added a few extra complications that were out of her control. So even though I had to wait a bit for him, he is the best suit I could ever ask for, and she is by far the best maker I could ever have worked with. He came out fantastic. He's everything I wanted him to be and more, and I will be returning to her for more business very soon. And if you are considering a commission from Beauty of the Base, I implore you to give her a look. She is phenomenal to work with. I cannot recommend her any more than I already have. She is a 10 out of 10 proper fursuit maker.
Oh, you're still with us. As you see, I'm holding a pumpkin. Hope you're enjoying your Halloween. And let's get on to the fourth question. The fourth question is, why a demon?
I have always liked the spookier things. So I grew up watching like true crime documentaries, listening to like horror stories, scary movies. I grew up with slasher flicks and things of that nature. And I always found myself more drawn to things like that on the scarier side of things. And the same thing kind of fell in with furries and fursuits. I saw a bunch of con videos and everything, and everyone going around different conventions like Anthrocon and MFF and things like that. And I always liked the fursuits, but I noticed that there wasn't enough like scary suitors in there. And as previously mentioned before, I then discovered Flinch, who was a scary fursuit on top of a scary fursuit dancer, and that opened a whole chapter of things that I never anticipated me even remotely getting to explore, and I'm really happy that I got to. And plus, it being a scarier suit means it can stand out more. The reason that he is a demon specifically is because he's such an amalgamation of a bunch of different characters. The Kire is a hybrid. He's such an amalgamation of different creatures that demon was the best umbrella term that I could use. And the more that I listened to me calling myself Kire the Demon, the more I felt it stuck, and I've stuck with that title and that umbrella term of demon ever since.
On to the fifth question now, and that is,
what is your favorite scary movie?
Ooh, I love scary movies. So, Oculus is one of my favorites. I do like me a bit of psychological horror. I like the Chucky series, or the Child's Play series, is also it's what it's called. I have a deep respect for the early beginnings of the Saw franchise. There's been some newer horror movies that I've been liking as well, like a lot of stuff from Jordan Peele. Get Out was a great movie, as was Us. I loved those. But my personal favorites, I'm gonna have to say, are the Michael Myers Halloween franchise. I've always loved those. Something about this, like, human creature that it's just a guy, a really big guy, that it humanizes it and makes it the threat all the more realistic, and I really liked that about that series. Honorable mention, I would say, would have to also be the Scream franchise. I love the Scream franchise as well.
and now on to the sixth and final question now. And we're going on something a little more positive here. Positivity. Love it, yes. And that is, what are some positive experiences that you would want to share to the viewer at home? Yes.
The fandom does a lot of things very well. It brings to you a way for you to come out of your shell. So for me, I was more of a sheltered kid, bullied a lot growing up, if that wasn't obvious. I was sheltered a lot, didn't really know a good outlet for how to be myself. And I found that being in this fandom and being able to wear a fursuit and just run around and be the person that I've always kind of wanted to be has been a very freeing and very liberating experience. The community is very accepting, and there is such a variety of people in it that you may think that you would be like one of the first people to do stuff in it. I can almost guarantee that you will find people with similar interests with you in the fandom. So I implore you, if you want to get into this, it is at the very least worth looking into giving it a try. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. And that is totally fine. People will accept you all the same. Just, you'll learn. It's a very including community and a lot to do, and in my opinion, very therapeutic.
I do hope you all have a great Halloween, a happy Halloween wherever you are. I also want to give a big thanks to Kire the Demon for being on today's interview. If you want to check out any of Kire Demon's content, he makes amazing content, by the way. I'll leave his links in the description down below, so be sure to check him out. I want to give a huge thanks for Kire for being on here. He did an amazing job, so give a big shout out to him. If you guys did enjoy this video, give this a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. But as for always, and as for always, I bid you a good farewell.